Question 1, Zero Tolerance asked, how do I get the RGB overlay effect? You're talking about this thing, right? Let's jump right into it. Now, the way I do this, an RGB video. So the next thing I need to do is I need to add a media source. The one that we're looking for specifically is, I call it rainbows. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to set this to loop. So all this is a video that has a bunch of colors and all they do is loop, right? So we're gonna check that loop button. All right, we've got this and it's sitting on top of our camera right now. We can't actually see it. Now what you want to think about whenever you're building up your sources is it's like the layers of a cake. So whatever's on top of the cake is what you're gonna see first. Whatever's at the bottom of the cake, you're not gonna see if it's buried under other layers. And this is something that we want on top of almost everything. Anything that you want to be affected by this effect, you want underneath it, okay? So the next thing we need to do is go to filters. All right, so if we go into effect filters, we're going to add an effect filter, and this is gonna be color correction. Click on that, just click OK. And the first thing we wanna do is, right now, it is 100% opaque. Let's bring that down. And as we bring this down, look at this, we can start to see through it a little bit. So this is just step 1, right? Maybe we want a little bit better color. So you can increase the saturation here, make it a little bit more bold, okay? But still plenty see-through, right? This is basically the lower you put this, the more transparent it's gonna be, right? Again, you're gonna adjust this to whatever you think works best for you. So now this is running all the time, but we got an issue. How the fuck do we turn this off? And how do we control this whenever we want to? So if you have things like a Stream Deck, you would connect this to a specific button on your Stream Deck. But if that's not an option for you, the other way is to set it up with a hotkey. I can show you both ways. So let's look at the Stream Deck option first. All right, so here's our Stream Deck software. Let's make a fresh new page here. So Stream Deck, you're gonna add a button under OBS system. You're going to go to source visibility. Okay, you're gonna drag one of these buttons on just like that. And we can just call this RGB. We can call it whatever you want, right? It's your Stream Deck. The scene is, well, it's not visible here because I'm in a totally different OBS setup. But what you would do is we would say scene 2. Okay, let's just hypothetical this real quick. Let's say this is here, scene, this has a 2 in it, scene 2, and then the source would be whatever that media source is, right? So you would have it selected, and now you can just toggle it on and toggle it off, and that's all you have to do. So you would push the button, and now it turns on, and then you push the button again, and then it turns it back off. Now let's say you don't have a Stream Deck, but you understand how hotkeys work. So what we would do is we would go into File, and we would go into Settings, and you would come down here to Hotkeys. So we would scroll on down until we find scene 2. Here it is. And our media source. Okay, well, this one's going to be Alt 5. Okay, Alt number 5. And then I would do the same thing in both show and hide. Okay, this is really important. Okay, Alt number 5. So now that's to turn it off and turn it on. If we hit apply and click OK, we come back over here and I press Alt 5. Now it's on and now it's off. And that's how you set up a hotkey to control your media source.